Making money is a process that has been carried out for centuries. Obviously, for living and surviving, you need to earn money nowadays. Although the method to make money has always been changing with the passage of time. But have you ever thought about how our ancestors made their money and which strategies they applied to become wealthy in their time period? Well, we have, and we're about to tell you in this video. So let's get right into it. Throughout history, people have been involved in trade to buy and sell products for payout. These money transfers were not always accompanied by hard cash. There was a time when basic money did not exist and people had to make do with other modes of compensation to complete transactions. Money and payments have shifted radically as technology has advanced. Modern credit card processing technology and sophisticated enterprise applications enable monetary operations to take place at almost any time and in almost any location. Many years ago, bartering was a beneficial reason for individuals to trade because it allowed both sides to get what they required. For instance, two parties may swap tools for amenities in order to cater to the requirements of both parties. Livestock was also regarded as a form of riches that people could rack up. The more cows or sheep someone had, the better off they were. Beads and shells were used as currency in ancient civilizations as well. They finally started using valuable metals to make coins. People in Lydia's ancient civilization were amongst the first to use gold and silver coins. This money was both beneficial and compact. China produced bronze and copper cowrie imitations at the end of the Stone Age, which could be considered some of the earliest forms of metal coins. Metal tool money, such as a knife and spade money, was also used for the first time in China. These early metal currencies evolved into crude versions of round coins. Chinese coins were made of base metals and often had holes in them so they could be strung together like a chain. Outside of China, the first coins were made of silver lumps. They quickly took on the familiar round shape of today and were stamped with various gods and emperors to prove their authenticity. These early coins were first seen in Lydia, which is now part of Turkey. But the techniques were quickly copied and refined by the Greek, Persian, Macedonian, and later Roman empires. Leather was another monetary material. White deerskin was used for banknotes in ancient China. The notes were large in comparison to the bills used today. Leather money could have been as large as 1-foot deerskin squares. No society, in the past or today, was completely self-sufficient, and money enabled people to interact with other groups. In response to specific social and political conditions, people used various forms of currency to mobilize resources, reduce risks, and form alliances and friendships. The abundance and nearly universal evidence of exotic goods movement across diverse regions inhabited by people who were independent of each other, from hunter-gatherers to pastoralists, farmers, and city dwellers, emphasizes the importance of currency as a uniting principle. It's like a universal language that everyone can understand. Americans, for example, used obsidian, mother-of-pearl shell, iron ore, and 2 types of pottery as a currency to trade across the Americas in one of the earliest examples of successful global trade from 1450 to 500 BC. Between 700 AD and 1450 AD, the maritime Silk Road trade connected Europeans, Asians, and Africans in a global trade that was both transformational and foundational. At the time, cash-based market economies were emerging. On the East African coast, there were local merchants and Swahili kings who practiced Islam and maintained external contact with other Indian Ocean traders. They wanted to make business transactions easier, whereas merchants from the Middle East and South Asia had their own Rolodexes of business contacts. Coinage was a way of leaving a calling card, a signature, and a symbolic token of connection. Currency, as history has shown, has a dual impact. It facilitated the movement of goods and services, as well as migration and settlement among strangers. It enriched some while hastening the development of socio-economic and other distinctions. The same patterns can be seen today in the modern relationship between China and Africa, which is more intertwined and unequal than it was when Admiral Zheng was in charge. In the beginning, he brought coins from China as a diplomatic gesture, a symbolic extension of friendship across the distance between the two. Possession of cash currency distinguishes the rich from the poor, the developed from the developing, and the global north from the emerging global south in our time. Money is both personal and impersonal, and the formalization of money as a measure of societal well-being and sustainability is now linked to global inequality. Even as currency evolves in the digital age, its applicants today would be familiar to our forefathers. And this is how ancient civilizations did business. What are your thoughts on this? Tell us in the comments and make sure to press that like and subscription button.